Yesterday, 4 countries, 3 of them EU countries, sent their national security advisors to be present at the sidelines of the negotiations in Geneva. It's France, Germany, Italy, and United Kingdom. Did this country inform the Commission about the results of their talks? They had talks with Americans, they had talks with Ukrainians, and on which stage is the process of choosing the special envoy of the European Union for the negotiations, peace negotiations for Ukraine? Thank you.
Thank you. Look, on this, the EU is constantly in coordination with Ukraine and with the United States, and as clearly communicated on so many different occasions, nothing can be decided about Ukraine without Europe at the negotiating table.
On the negotiating format in Geneva, we know that the 2 European delegations that fly to Geneva were not allowed to participate in this format. The format has not been officially established, but what we see is that de facto there's a format that's a Ukrainian, Russian, and American, without European in the room. So are you satisfied of this current format or not?
Thank you. I will here recall what I've been saying and what our principles have been saying from the start. Nothing can be decided about Ukraine without Europe at the table, and I think it's crystal clear.
So Commissioner Šuica is participating today on behalf of the European Commission in the context of the Board of Peace meeting in Washington, D.C. So the participation of the Commissioner will really focus on Gaza and its reconstruction. So it's important again to mention that with this participation, the European Commission is not becoming a member of the Board of Peace. Our participation is really to be seen in the context of our long-standing commitment for the implementation of the ceasefire in Gaza, as well as our commitment to take part in international efforts when it comes to the recovery and reconstruction of Gaza. We do believe that we have an important role to play. As you know, we are the biggest external provider of assistance to the Palestinians, together with our long-term and recovery assistance, but also the humanitarian aid. We do believe that we need to be at the table, otherwise we will simply be a payer and not a player. Let me stress that 14 member states are also represented at this meeting at different levels, together with also regional partners, European partners, with whom we've been working and discussing precisely in the context of these international efforts for the Gaza peace talks.
I just wanted to ask whether any legal advice or any advice was sought before taking this decision, because, as you probably know, the Charter of the Board of Peace does not mention the word Gaza once, and we know that the Commission itself has raised concerns about the compatibility of this charter with the UN. So my question is, was there advice on this issue sought before the decision was taken to send Šuica to the first formal meeting of the board? Thank you.
Look, when it comes to a position on the Board of Peace, it has been explained several times from this podium, and the situation is not changing. As I said, we're not a member of the Board of Peace. The Commission was invited to participate. We're not a member, but we decided, for the reason that I just explained, that it would be important for us to take part in the discussion. So it's really important, once again, for us to be closely associated to the discussions, the wider discussions on the peace talks, and the day after, meaning the recovery and reconstruction. So it is really in this context and really in this essence that Commissioner Šuica will be present in DC today, is really to showcase once again the support that the EU has been providing to Palestine. So our readiness to continue our support in the future, as I said, for reconstruction and recovery. All of this under the United Nations Security Council Resolution 280.
Yesterday was announcement that 2 countries of EU, they stop supply of some fuel to Ukraine. Do you know about this situation? Is it aligned with the rule of EU, and what could be done to do something? Thank you.
We discussed this here on Monday and on Tuesday, and it is a situation that we keep following very closely. We are in contact with all of the parties, and we have seen statements on decisions to halt diesel exports to Ukraine, and we are now currently, we're in the process of assessing this information because this is very much a developing story. In principle, any such export restrictions would only be possible under very strict conditions. But again, this is something that we now have to assess. There's a lot that has been happening in the past days. I don't really have much to add to what I said earlier this week. Close contact with all relevant national authorities, and to repeat that our priority is to ensure security of supply in our member states, and to add that we do not see any short-term risk to this security of supply, given that both Hungary and Slovakia hold 90 days' worth of emergency oil stocks in reserve. And we have, of course, we are in correspondence with both Hungary, Slovakia, as well as Croatia, as well as in touch with Ukrainians. And I want to clarify one thing I mentioned on Monday, I think Monday or Tuesday, that we are in contact with Ukrainian authorities on the timeline of repairing this pipeline. It is very, very important that this is not misinterpreted to mean that we would be exerting any kind of pressure on Ukraine to repair the pipeline. We are in contact. We want to get a full understanding and clarity of repair timeline and of the situation where we are at the moment. One thing to add as an update to what we have been saying before is that we have called an ad hoc oil coordination group to meet and discuss the impact of the supply disruption and possible alternatives to fuel supply. And this is currently planned to take place next Wednesday, 25th. I think 25th is Wednesday, right? Yeah. So this is where we are. So and that is the forum again where we can have a conversation with everybody involved from our member states, and to take stock where we are and to have a full picture and understanding of the ways forward. But given that there are lots of developments taking place as we speak, have taken place in the past 2 days, we really have to assess very, very well what exactly is said and communicated and what is actually happening on the ground. And this is where we are at the moment.
Yes, and online we have Sandor Giros. It's a follow-up. Let's see, because I'm probably Sandor's question is also related. Sandor, go ahead.
Yes, hello. Exactly, it's a follow-up because today the Hungarian government threatened that they might go further and they might cut electricity and gas supply. And yesterday, Slovakia a very similar statement, and we know that the situation in Ukraine related to the energy network is very dire. Is the Commission concerned about these statements, and are you taking any steps to, coordinate with other member states who could step in as a provider to, help the missing energy transport? Thank you.
As I said, we follow the situation very, very closely to be able to have a full picture of what is happening, and then to make an assessment what the consequences of various intentions and actions are. And as I said, there will be an oil coordination group meeting next week to take stock and to discuss with the participants. I do not have any expression of different kind of emotions of us being worried or anything like this at the moment, because at the moment we are receiving this information, we are assessing it, and we are in contact with our member states, and we are making sure that everybody is getting the energy supplies that they're supposed to be getting.
So, in other words, security of supply is always a concern for us, and on which we work actively and proactively. And in this case, obviously, we're also concerned with the security of supply of Ukraine itself, finding itself in an extremely difficult condition in a harsh winter. And this is also confirmed by, notably, the support that we've been given to Ukraine in all types of forms, as recently also with generators. And you know our work that has been going on for already before the war, but certainly as of the war, to ensure supplies to Ukraine in this extremely difficult conditions.
I would like just to clarify. So you are not demanding that Ukraine restore the oil supply by the Druzhba pipeline as soon as possible, or you are pushing Ukraine to do that fast, because as I understand, there are some technical reasons. And do you have some deadlines for Ukraine to restore these operations, or to be moved to other ways? And also Slovakia is asking for a monitoring group to visit Druzhba pipeline. Are you aware of that? Will the Commission send someone to just assess what's happening on the field? Thank you.
Okay. So on Ukraine restoring the Druzhba pipeline, I want to be very, very clear that we are in contact with all relevant authorities, including Ukraine, to seek clarity on the repair timeline. We're not pushing, we're not pressuring or giving deadlines to Ukraine to do this. Also, given the context that throughout the 4 years of the war, Russia has used Ukrainian energy infrastructure. They have strategically and systematically destroyed it, and Ukraine has shown superhuman efforts to keep repairing and to keep restoring, much with the support of EU member states and the Commission that we have mobilized to ensure that the hospitals stay warm and the households stay warm and that the industry can work. So we do not have, in this case, we're not pushing, we're not pressuring, there are no deadlines. It has to be very clear. But of course, given the situation, given the context, we are, of course, in touch of any timelines. Because at the same time, we of course know that Ukraine has diligently sought to prepare energy infrastructure in the country that has been destroyed throughout the war.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.